Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Sell More Book Show, episode 614. I'm Bryan Cohen from Best Page Forward, joined by ad school and author ad agency emeritus and Amazon ad expert and romance author, Quinn Ward. You have so many hyphenates.
You know, it's a long, long list. So
It's a long, long list. It's a long, long list.
Keep busy. Keeps me out of trouble.
It's good to be out of trouble. We don't want trouble. No trouble. No trouble.
Only good trouble.
Good trouble. Exactly. We didn't really talk about this last week, but I wanted to bring it up. So, you and I are both a little bit woo-woo.
I love woo-woo.
And we've been having fun. You've been studying under former guest co-host of the show, Heather Hildenbrand, who's amazing. I've been studying under Amanda Francis, of course, and so we've both got our woos. When did you decide to I'm gonna go a little woo?
The thing for me is I wasn't getting where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And if things aren't going the way that you want them to go, eventually you have to be willing to try something else. And right. I will never forget, I had a friend early in my writing career who, whenever I would get really down on myself, she would set a timer. Right. So I could rant, I could vent, I could be as negative as I wanted for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then we had to let it go. Right.
I like that.
And I really kind of thought back to that. And it was like, I didn't feel good in those moments of dwelling on the negative.
Yeah.
But then eventually you have to do something. You have to take action. And so really it comes down to that, if it's not working, what do you have to lose by trying something different?
Right.
And, which in itself I feel is a little bit woo. Right. But yeah, it just, and when you start to see some changes, it's easy to want to be like, oh, that's probably a coincidence.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
But it's like, then when you start falling off the wagon and you slip back into the negative mindset and everything, and what haven't I done?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was really the big change for me. And I have time 3 days a week. I have about an hour and a half that I'm on the road total. Yeah. And so I started, instead of just listening to an audiobook, or we listen to a lot of comedy on Sirius XM. Yep. Instead of listening to one of those, I would turn on a book that was going to be more uplifting, more woo, more mindset shifting.
Yeah.
So, and it's really made a big difference.
Yeah, I just find, I'm so glad, by the way, because you deserve to be happy. We all deserve to be happy. I find that just being surrounded by smart, powerful, spiritual, energetic people and listening to those kind of people, it definitely has made a difference in my life, and it allows me to do the best I can for others. There's no way Best Page Forward grows by 50% from 2024 to 2025. When everyone said the sky's falling, everything's terrible, there's no way a business can have money this year. And right. It's like, we grew. Right. And so there's no way, unless I'm taking some stuff on faith and believing in myself and believing in higher things than myself, if that's going to happen.
Well, but it's interesting you say that, because everybody was saying the sky is falling, it's going to be a horrible year. And there have definitely been plenty of things that aren't great. But doesn't it really come down to the company you keep? Right?
Yes.
Because if I'm going into, and don't get me wrong, I love so many of the author groups out there, but it's hard when everybody is talking about the problems that they're having.
Yes.
Well, now your brain is in that cycle of all of the problems and everything that's wrong. And isn't it so much better when you're surrounding yourself by people who have a growth mindset and want to have that success and everything else, because they're focusing on the success rather than focusing on the perceived failures, we'll say. And so I think it is really aligning yourself with the right people can really be a huge first step in that change.
Yeah. 100%. 100% agree. Let's go into, well, I guess there's some stuff here. We have a free class coming up called 3 Ways to Raise Your Royalties in 2026. We'll have the link in the show notes. And I have a new podcast. Conceivably, by the time this goes live, I will have done one whole episode. I'll have a live stream later today. If you're listening to this right when it came out, we'll see how it all goes.
Fingers crossed. You've got this.
Fingers crossed. It's going to be great. But you can find out more about the other podcast at joymademillionaire.com. So, previous week's question, and we can tap into this. What would you like one of your daily affirmations to be for 2026, possibly in the form of a why question? Christine Kohler said, just listen to this one and wow, so inspirational. I suck at journaling, but often repeat daily reminders to myself. Thank you for this episode. So, affirmation. Why am I a 5-figure author? And why do people love my Regency so much? I love these whys. Quinn, do you have any affirmations you tend to go to?
You know, one of the big things, and I want to say it was from one of the habit building books.
Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about too.
I do.
But one of the things that they talked about in there is just every day as you put your feet on the floor, tell yourself it's going to be an awesome day. And so that's really where I started with that. Because again, the mindset that we start with is the mindset that's easier to carry on.
Oh, yeah.
And so many times as we roll out of bed, we're like, oh, my back hurts, my neck hurts, now you're dwelling on everything that feels crappy, right? But if as you put your feet to the ground, you're like, it's going to be an awesome day.
I love that.
That really works. I tend to avoid the why questions as affirmations.
I understand that. Those are interesting for my brain too.
It's easy for me to fall into, instead of why am I a 5-figure author?
Yeah.
Why am I a 5-figure author? Right? or like, why am I a 5-figure author? I should be so much better. Because again, it seems like, or I want to be so much better. Right? I used to be so much better.
Right.
And so again, at that point, you're starting to sink into, whether you realize it or not, you're sinking into the negativity.
Right.
Why this thing instead of those things?
That's why I think different affirmation forms are better for different types of brains.
Oh, yeah. But, like, how could I become?
Right?
Right.
And
just journaling on that for me would work better. Like, what are 5 things I could do this month to reach a goal? Now we're thinking forward. We're thinking about the positive action that we can take.
I like that. I'm more of a prompter too. I like those kind of prompty ones. I'm taking this one from Amanda Francis.
I love it.
This is from a recent thing that she did. I think pretty recent. So this is meditating on having a certain level of month, and you don't have to use my number. But I'm the next logical goal for us is a $200,000 month. So God, give me the consciousness, give me the belief system, give me the understanding, give me the awareness, give me the best business model for $200,000 months.
I love that. I love that. And, for me, it was recently, I had my great successful writing years.
Yep.
But then as I got busier with other things, the writing income went down because of my attention to it went down. Right.
Yes.
And so, and I want to say that it was again from Amanda Francis. I want to say that this got into my head that I'm just going to say, I'm going to make this much money this month off my books.
Yep.
And I'll be danged if I haven't done it.
I love that.
Right. To the point that I just had the thought the other day, I'm like, you've done that for a few months. Can we push it? And so I think it's time to push it. right? Because
energetic maximums. Let's
yes,
do it.
right. Because like, it would be great to say, I want to get back to where I was, but I'm not there right now. And like for my brain, and I think this is like one of those woo factors that, and I can't remember if it was Amanda that was talking about this or who, but sometimes if you try to jump too big right away, then you're constantly fighting your brain, because your brain's like, dude, do you have any clue how big of a change that is, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you say, I eventually want to get there, so right now, what is this step? But now I'm not going to be happy sitting here, because once I get here, that's my first 6-figure year was done that way. I had this goal, but then when I got close to that goal, I just keep moving it forward. So
that's awesome.
I think it's been really helpful.
I love that. Awesome. Let's go to the top story. The 2026 tune-up. It's 2026, and whether you made an official New Year's resolution or just vowed to make your upcoming author year better, one of the best ways to start is with a platform tune-up. Quote, so my suggestion is to take some time to do an author/writer platform tune-up, not a total revamp or site redesign or anything of major magnitude. This is more about simple fixes and updates on your site, newsletter, and social media profiles, says Jeffrey Yamaguchi at Book Publishing Brick by Brick. Quote, so that you can move forward with your larger and more expansive 2026 plans with a running start as the new year commences, end quote. Yamaguchi keeps an updated list of regularly scheduled maintenance, updates, or upkeep that you can use as a checklist each year, starting with a simple one, updating the copyright year in your website footer. A quick update for an easy dopamine hit. While on your website, add any recently published articles, books, or stories to their appropriate pages. If you got any notable book reviews, update your pull quotes. If you do any events or teach courses or workshops, move the old offerings aside so that your current and upcoming events are front and center. Make sure your social media profiles and photos are up to date. And don't forget to update your link in bio service while you're at it. Visit the homepages of your social media accounts to make sure they're still looking good. How old is your Facebook banner image? Why is that pinned post still there? That'll do. I don't want to turn this quote, that'll do. I don't want to turn this tune-up into a drag, says the author. In fact, I think all of the above could be done over a cup of coffee in a single morning, and it will feel really good to get these things done. And by doing these things now, you get to keep the ground running with a tuned-up platform right at the start of 2026. For the complete checklist, visit the author's article using the link in our show notes. I don't even want to check what the copyright date is on the Sell More Book Show website. But Quinn, a tune-up was a pretty good idea here. What did you think about this?
I felt called out. Like, for real.
Me too.
I mean,
me too.
But I did then go to my website. The funny thing is, I'm not seeing a footer displaying. But that's the thing.
You're fine. You're fine.
Right? It's not out of date if it's not there. But that's the thing is we tend to set these things up and then we don't pay attention to them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so I do think that this is a really great list. And even while you were sitting there reading the story, I added a couple more things to I keep a little sidebar to-do list throughout the week of things that, I should do this. It's kind of like the parking lot.
Yeah.
And that way, when I have time to do things, I'll do them. If I don't get it done this week, I'll say, am I doing this? Am I moving this to next week? Or am I crossing it off? But I added a few more things to there just as I was looking around. I think it's a great idea. We oftentimes, again, whether it's social media, back matter. I know we talked about that last week, but it's like, these are things that we don't pay attention to. And so I think that it probably works really well to try to tie that to the beginning of the year.
Oh, absolutely. Hot potato wisdom question. Quinn, what do you think are the most important parts of your platform to keep up to date?
The number one for me at this point, honestly, is my newsletter. I resisted for so long. I figured I didn't have that many people on it. I don't want to be bugging people, this, that, and the other. So I never paid too much attention to it. Then I went through the learning frenzy.
Yep.
Right. And I'm realizing that I set some things up that maybe weren't as optimized as they could have been for my own sake.
Right.
And so that's one thing that I want to tackle this year. But really, your newsletter, that is an audience that has asked to be kept up to date.
Mm-hmm.
And you own that list. I can't control who Amazon emails. I can't control who the Facebook feed shows my stuff to.
Yes.
Right? But I can go ahead and I have some control over my newsletter list. And so that's become the top one for me, and probably the one I'm going to continue curating the most.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, it's the one I hear people skipping the most, but it tends to be so much more important than the ones they are spending time on.
Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah,
well, okay, so the flip side of that would then be, what do you think are the least important parts? Like if you're going to go through and try to update stuff and kind of revamp, what are the things that if something has to fall off the list, what would they be?
I have got to say that it's the places where you're getting the least traffic from. If that is, like you have a couple books that are wide, and so you haven't looked at your author profile on Apple in a few years or whatever. If your website is not a source of traffic for you, your website might fit into there. Your landing page is different. Your landing page, you want to make sure that's going to the right place. But like things where people don't find you from, where you don't get revenue from, where you don't get book sales, I like to say this a lot. If you have something that is bringing in most of the revenue, don't spend a bunch of time on something that is bringing in 10% of it.
Yeah.
Like you so many authors, I even had answered an email today that was just like, you are asking, should I do these 7 things on this thing that is literally bringing in 5% of your income, when what you could be doing is sending more traffic to the thing that is actually bringing in the revenue. And so I think a lot of it comes down to using your time as wisely as possible.
I think so. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if it's not working, why give it, does it deserve that attention? Right.
Right.
And that's the big thing. And that's become a really good way of figuring out and really forcing myself to think about it is, does it deserve my time?
Ooh, the deserve is good.
Because it's one thing to have this huge long list of things, but does this deserve my time right now? Right? Think of it almost like triage mode.
Yes.
And that'll help you really. And, but a quick word on the traffic and all of that.
Sure.
Tracking links. Seriously, use them so that you're using the data. And I say this because if I was to look at my social media, if I just looked at, just what my social media pages look like, I would think that Blue Sky is one for me that I would easily dump off. Easily. Except I use Vista Social for all my scheduling, and it has analytics. And then I use tracking links, like I said. Who's actually, how many clicks are things actually getting to Amazon?
Yep.
And Blue Sky's, people aren't commenting,
but they're clicking.
And because I then have attribution links connected to my tracking links,
right,
I'm seeing that they're converting. Right?
That's amazing.
And so again, that becomes one of those, like, the data needs to be the guide there, right? So it's like a lot of us feel like Facebook is amazing for us.
Yeah.
But is it?
Is it?
How is it converting?
Are they getting clicks? Is it converting to sales? No. Great points, Quinn. Awesome. All right, y'all. Lightning round's coming back. Lightning round. You got this, Quinn.
Part of me wants to go vroom, vroom, vroom.
I would
Lightning
like that.
McQueen.
When did you get a Lightning McQueen?
Answer? When did you get a Lightning McQueen? Has somebody else done a Lightning McQueen?
People have done a Kerchow.
Kerchow, that's right.
But vroom vroom, no.
Vroom, vroom. I'm like revving up. It's
You'd be the first.
2026. We are revving up.
Okay, I
There you
like
go.
it. I like it. Quinn, a lot of authors, we talked about this a little bit last week, but I think it bears diving deeper into. A lot of authors are on the cusp of scaling up, have to handle certain mindset issues. What do you usually see crop up?
The big one is letting their feelings get in the way. I mean, seriously, and there's a few different ways that this happens.
Yeah.
Right? Like newsletters is a big one. Well, I don't want to pester my readers. They signed up. They want to hear from you. You
Yep.
know? But then and again, then people will be like, well, why would I promote my backlist in my newsletter? Well, because you constantly have new people signing up. Pretend like it's always new.
Right.
But, one of my favorite recent examples is somebody who was too closely, and you'll know who I'm talking about, but was
Sure.
too closely tying their titles to when it could succeed.
Yeah.
Right? And the thing is that, let's say, so I know that there's an MM author who had used to do something where like each book was titled for a month, but in a fun, cutesy way. Right?
Yeah.
Well, your pumpkin spice book, just because it says pumpkin spice in it, doesn't mean that it's not going to sell in the spring or in the summer.
Right.
And if people, even if you shift your primary focus, which I think can be really great, right? Like now I'd be doing my New Year's books, but people aren't then going to wait for my Easter book or, my beginning of summer book until the beginning of summer to read it. Right? They just want to read the series.
Yeah.
And so just follow that and know that your readers aren't thinking about your books the same way that you are.
Yeah.
So,
Good points. You've got a question for me.
I do. Okay. So when you have mindset issues about spending money, what are some of the things that you work on?
It's scary. I spent $1 million in 2025. Spent $1 million 2025. Made way more than $1 million, but spent $1 million. And that is scary. I mean, it's scary as a number. It's scary as a concept. But some of the things that I worked on specifically was just this concept that I can make more money than I spend. I can do that. I can consistently do that. I have the ability to do that. And so even just talking about it and having the ability to do that is a big thing. I think conquering my old money stories that I never have enough, or I can't, or the other shoe's going to drop, or this account might not work out. A big one I'm battling with right now, every single effing time. If it's slow in the beginning of the month, I start freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
And it always works out.
Right.
Always. Every single dang time. And I need to start believing that a little bit more, because it stresses me out and it isn't worth my energy.
Absolutely. And that's one of the big lessons that you taught me last year that I think goes right along with this as far as mindset.
Yep.
Is remembering that some things have to move out of the way.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because something moving out of the way brings room for the thing that is supposed to be there.
Right. Love that. It's funny.
Good. It was your words.
Yeah. I love myself, Quinn.
There you go.
Love myself. I have to.
You give good advice.
I give good advice. I'm glad that was helpful for you. This is kind of like our question of the week from last week, but we're both going to ask this question to each other. Quinn, is there a belief or practice you're ready to let go of in 2026?
Wow, that did really work out well.
It did. It did.
It tied in well, unintentionally. I love it. The big one for me is just trying to flip that script. Right? It's not that I'm drowning. Even if I am, it's not that I'm drowning. I have a really packed schedule right now.
Yeah.
Because that takes the feelings out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's action based, because the action that goes along with I have a full schedule is either I need to not take on anything else, or if I have room in my schedule, then being willing to take that on. And so really just being more intentional and making things more action based rather than feeling based.
I like that. I like that. I think you have a question for me.
I do. Right back to you, man. Yeah.
All right. Belief or practice, I'm ready to let go of. I think it's just this idea that the other shoe is going to drop. I think that oh, well, this went okay, but it's going to go down at some point, or this is good now, but eventually it won't be. Like, enough of that. We're allowed. It's allowed to be good. It's allowed to be amazing. Me and my family and wonderful people I work with, like you, it's allowed to get better for all of us. We are worthy of that. And so I'm letting go of the alternative.
I love that. I love that. With my dad says that there's somebody in our extended family that and it came from one time they screwed it up, and they said, well, if you want the bad, you got to take the good.
Yeah.
But like, how many times do we, like, if you think about it, well, the other shoe's going to drop. I mean, and so it really, letting that go, I think is great.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah. I'm working on it. I haven't let it go fully yet, so we'll get there.
Okay, but isn't grace part of it? Because I think that's one place that a lot of people with the woo and the mindset shifts and everything else, I think that's one place people quit. Is they say, well, I'm not there yet. I'm still doing this thing.
Got to keep pushing through.
One of, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody the other day was like, about not checking your KDP sales page 47 times a day. I'm like, I'll have I only checked it 44.
Right?
Just kind of being snarky, right? But then the next day, I found that I didn't check it as much. I still was going and checking it. And so jokingly, I was like, I only checked it 22 times today. So we're doing good. But it really is that thing, giving yourself the grace.
Yeah.
Did you improve? Did
Definitely
you catch
improve.
yourself waiting for the other shoe to drop?
Mm-hmm. No.
That's improvement. That's putting you on the right track. So
thanks, Quinn. Thanks, Coach.
Got you.
Last question of the lightning round. What is your word of the year for 2026?
Embody.
Oh, that's so good.
Right. I am not thinking of the things that I want to do. Right. I am these things. Does it matter if I am not currently bringing in the number of dollars that's going to hit this goal? No, I am a writer who can earn this amount of money.
Right.
Right. With health journeys and everything. Well, am I at my goal? No. But I am somebody who is committed to this healthier lifestyle. So that's why we went with that one.
That's
what about
awesome.
You? I want to know.
One of them is release.
I love that.
Just let go. Just let go and release these negative feelings, release the expectations, and just let good things happen.
I love that.
We'll see. This type A kid might figure it out.
Get it.
I know. We need a question of the week. Quinn, do you have another idea for what you want to ask?
Honestly, part of me wants to go almost like an accountability question, right?
Okay.
Like, what is one piece of your brand profile that you could go ahead and make an update to, that you could take a look at and polish?
Love it. You can answer that question of the week over at sellmorebookshow.com or the Sell More Book Show After Party Facebook group. Quinn is one of the wonderful advertisers at the Author Ad Agency. You can go to learn.bestpageforward.net/VSL, or just send us an email and say, hey, I want some ads to be run for me. Also, go check out Quinn Ward books wherever fine books are sold on your internets. Quinn, it's been a delight having you on the show these 2 weeks.
It's been fun. It's been a good change. Thanks for asking me. And, you know where to find me. You ever want me to come on and do it what you can?
Okay, I will come find you. I will come to the north. But definitely excited for additional wonderful guests coming in this year. So stay tuned for more. Come check out my other podcast at joymademillionaire.com. For Quinn Ward, I'm Bryan Cohen. Have a great week of book selling, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.
All right.